Joe Budden versus Drake. Drake versus Joe Budden. I'm gonna be honest, man. Joe pretty much said what we all said that are above the age of 30. Like, I don't know who this music was geared towards. It wasn't geared towards people that are aging with you. And your music has to age with your audience. Unless you are content with trying to appease generations before you, which has your content looking weird to grown-ups like me. I'm 37. Is Drake the same age as me? How old is Drake? Drake, don't let me find out you in your mid 30s. I mean, I know you 30. I thought you was like 32, 33. You 30. I think he's 36, dog. Yeah. Yeah, we can't. Yeah, sliming you out. Just even the titles of the songs is just like, what grade are you in? Now Joe can be a little harsh, and I think what happens is his delivery. His delivery on things makes you totally ignore his message. But one thing that's being ignored is he actually said he liked the album. He likes the album. He just wish it was a little more. I guess the problem was you called it for all the dogs, and it was a misconception. I don't know if you did that on purpose or not, or maybe because what do you call? Well, yeah, dogs, but it could have been female dogs, which are called. You know what a female dog is called, because a lot of this content was turn up at the club, women going crazy. So you got SZA on there, you got Sexy Red on there. So maybe we just got confused by the title, but I felt like with the title and with 8 a.m. in Charlotte, you really pulled the wool over a lot of people's eyes. But I said this: he's never going to make the type of album the quote unquote true hip hop fans. I mean, the true hip hop, hardcore, real hip hop fans think. He's never done that. I don't know why people expect that now. He's never done that. And to you fans and stands, you Drakeiots or wherever. Well, I don't know what his stand club. What is his stand club called? Drake Mania. I don't know. Wherever y'all are called, nobody thinks that he should make a whole hip hop album. In fact, like I said, my favorite album from Drake was Nothing Was the Same, and it was pretty much the same blueprint, just a better version of it. Well, then he had language on there. He had worse behavior. Started from the bottom. Like those aren't like rapidy rap hip hop records. They had their own bounce, their own vibe, different type of energy. Then he'll give you, the Tuscan leather joint, give you pound cake. It was a variety. He's always been a variety mix, but it was a variety at like the highest level of variety. What Joe was saying was you're doing the same stuff, not as good. Like I think it's pretty simple. You're doing the same stuff, not as good. When you do the same stuff, not nearly as good, there is a lot of criticism there. Now I seen somebody trying to decipher uh Drake's album, like trying to make it seem like it was more complex than what it was. Like when you really break down some of the lyrics and the content, he's talking from a sense of pain, but he's always been vulnerable and talking from a different perspective, especially when it comes to relationships. Right? He can play the role of just the unapologetic. Um, I'm living a lifestyle that's like making it hard for me to commit to someone right now. Or he'll play, yo, you with this guy, I can treat you much, the Marvin's Room type of style. Like he hits different pockets of emotion. He's always done that. The problem is the quality of the lyrics and the quality of just the overall song. I think Budden hit on someone like even his hooks used to be, even if his song wasn't hitting, his hooks were like undeniable. Now I'm just like what song I didn't like? What was that on Take Care? That they know, they know, they know. I like that hook though, but the song was just alright. He ain't even giving me hooks that I like can just rock with. Cause sometimes if the hook is good, you'll let the song play out. You're just like, all right, forget it. The hook dope, the beats hitting. I thought the production as far as the mastering of it sounded great. But I even thought the beat selections weren't that crazy either. I like first person shooter. I like the beat from Amen. It was like a couple, but like it wasn't it. It wasn't it. I think fans who are really defensive are going to use this excuse that, oh, y'all just want him to, like, I seen somebody, oh, y'all want him to sound like Ghostface Killer. Like, y'all stop being dumb. Stop being stupid. We just want him to be a better version of himself. We want Nothing Was the Same. Nothing Was the Same literally did all of this stuff. It did everything that this album, it has everything that this album has pretty much. It's just amazing. It's just better by a lot. This is in contention for his worst project. Period. Period. Like, it's just it is what it is. I don't know how many of these songs got replay value to me, but as for him and Joe, I just think Joe is more critical of him. One, and Drake lashed out. One, because I wouldn't say he looked up to Joe, but he's from that lineage, bro. I think y'all new Drake fans, y'all young Drake fans, I don't think y'all realize who some of his influences were. I don't think y'all do any of y'all Drake fans, do y'all know who Little Brother is? Go listen to their music. That was his, of course it was Wayne and Hove, right? But he loved Dipset. He loved Joe Budden. If you listen to a lot of his earlier more personal records, they sound a lot like some stuff Joe was doing with Mew music. It would sound very similar, very, truth telling, transparent, self deprecating, all of that stuff. It was very reminiscent of what Joe was doing. He just did it at a higher level. He was all Dipset. Oh, the Clips, right? Can't say that now because of the situation, but they was influenced. Look at some of his upbringing, his, like I said, his lineage, where his not lineage, but some of his idols and people he looked at too, like that those was considered his OGs coming up. That's who he paid attention to. We just want a little bit of that. We want to, like, if I heard Drake, if you heard Drake just now, maybe for let's say the last 4 or 5 years you've been listening to Drake, you would have never guessed that those would be the type of guys he was listening to. You would think he was listening to just nothing but Kid Cudi, Travis Scott, like you would, in like Ray Shrimmer or something, and Chief Keef, like you don't like you would think those were his influences or something. Like you would never know that he was fans of these people. He was influenced by these people earlier on, unless you listen to some early Drake. I'm talking about before he even got signed to Young Money. So it's just, man, the album ain't it. I think his beef with Joe stems deeper because he values Joe's opinion. He doesn't do. I hope y'all all remember that. He's not saying this to everyone who has an opinion. Joe has one of the biggest platforms, podcasts in the world, and he's one of the most respected MCs. Like, I mean, by his peers. I don't know how the fans look at him, but his peers, all of your favorites, think Joe is nice, including Drake. So that hit a nerve. So he retaliated the way he retaliated, and Drake had every right to retaliate like that. He's wrong. He's wrong because, like, I'm not knocking someone for not succeeding in music but having a successful podcasting career. Like, why would I, like, yeah, like, I mean, Drake, you weren't the most successful actor ever. Like, they killed your character off, and I don't think I can remember you in anything else. But you made it in music. Like, so what's the difference in that? He didn't make it in music. You didn't make it in acting. You made it in music. He made it as a media member in the podcasting world. You got to get it how you live at this point. All right. That's my take. Peace and love.